Hi, this is William Carter, and I'm just talking here on a little bit about my story. I'm 27 years old. I was born and raised in Johnson City, Tennessee, and I have been raised close to my inner family up until the age about 14. And then I used to have an Aunt Louise that I would stay with in South Carolina, North Carolina, and when I was 7 years old, and I dreamt about moving to St. Louis, and it actually kind of came through. Uh, I used to go to the Myrtle Beach a lot and think about the city, and here I am living in one. So, when I was about 14, I had left a lot of my mom's family that she had came in tune with to, uh, along with my childhood, that they knew me through my childhood. And when I was about 14, I had um, things were getting rough out in the streets and everything, and I had lost my mom from stress and worry, anxiety. Her nerves got really abruptive in her life, and she had an aneurysm and passed. And along with my dad, quite a few months after, um, as well. But with my dad, it was um, I had like quite a few months later, after being in state's custody, because I didn't have a lot of family I could stay with at the time. There was a lot of other things going on in my family. And so after being in foster care, going to church and trying to have a better upbringing, you know, go the way that I should, and lost my dad to lung cancer when I was about 15. And after that, I had some troubles, and I had some troubles um, in foster care. I got into a little bit of trouble trying to run away from home, just trying to get away from there and back to what I was used to. But there wasn't much that I was used to at that time. I went from being comfortable to not so much being comfortable, and growing up really fast. So it didn't take long after being in foster care for about a year or so, for about 11 months, about a year, close to it. Um, foster home for about 4 or 5 months, and then moving to an not an orphanage, but a group home, and was there for close to 11 months. From there, I was 16 going on 17. I got adopted into a family that I now love. They're kind of far out at the, well, I mean, my parents had moved from me at this point in my life, but then at that time I stayed with them for 7, 8 months, and we ended up moving out of country for a few years. And that's when life started to change drastically, and I just started loving life as it was coming to me, and I was a lot more accepting of relationships at that point, knowing that I was, a rough image bearing kid growing up. So to see life at a different season was very, very unique, very awesome, and I enjoyed it. And I got to even work with my stepdad, my dad. I would call him now like my dad or my father. We got to help at an orphanage when we had reached there in Belize, and it was called LOL Orphanage. So it was really cool. It was a laugh out loud kind of place to live, and it was a lot of different cultures and villages and Mayan culture down there, and there was caves and caverns and so many and waterfalls that were abundantly beautiful, and it was a wellspring of life down there. It was totally different, and so I got really opened up to adventurous type of living, and I started to really grow upright from there. From that point on, stayed in good rhythm in Belize for 2-3 years, of washing your own clothes and hot water that comes from or the cold water that comes from the shower heads, because it's just they keep the water going whether it's hot or not. Pipes that come up out the ground, so if you're working, you can just go somewhere and drink some water. A lot of different kind of living there. It's a year-round place to live, so it's hot it's rainy one season, one whole year, or not sure if it's a whole year, but then it switches back to dry season. So we get rainy and dry season. And so after like 3 years, we ended up moving back to the United States and moving to Illinois. And for there, I spent the last 2 years in high school after attending to a Mennonite high school in Belize, in Central America, Belize, where I was at. And from there, I didn't really graduate. I didn't really graduate from high school up in the United States, because a lot of the classes and a lot of material were different than down there in Belize. But I'd like to say that I graduated because I learned so much anyway, just from learning from a different curriculum to moving to a curriculum in the United States was really neat. So I have had a lot of different learning since I have moved back into this country when I was about 19 years old, I believe. And moved to Effingham, Illinois. Moved to Illinois, and by that time I was not the only adopted son. There was one other adopted son and 2 adopted daughters that were in my family that I got adopted into. And also we had 2 more further come notice that were adopted whenever we had gotten back in the United States in Illinois. Mind you, we're in Missouri here and now. So how did I get to Missouri from Illinois? Well, I fell kind of hard into a relationship, and we ended up offspringing off to Colorado, and from our own parents and everything, we decided to get away, and we ended up going to Berthoud, Colorado, and having a baby. And well, as soon as the baby was in the womb and everything, we ended up moving back to Effingham, Illinois, after visiting a friend that I had met in Belize that actually moved also to Colorado, Berthoud, Colorado. And so it was so adventurous. Now I'd say me and the mother of my child, we're friends now. We had split up for, let's say, we have been split up now for like 3-4 years. And I think we were trying to just be like the best friends that we could be, as far as going, we try to keep our inner child in the midst, because it's our daughter that we want to raise the best that we can. And I've been away from my little, I would call it like my little family, because it was the first family I ever was with, that I bear a child with. And so I always pray that they're doing good every day. And I like to talk to them as much as I can. Right now in the current, trying to get a job and trying to get an ID and trying to get personalized here with being fluent with keeping a job and everything. I know I have parents that my father and my mother, I sometimes can see them on Facebook or something, but they have moved away for a couple. They had moved away from where I was living at with my daughter when we came back to Effingham, Illinois. So they are out of the picture currently. But I have a lot more of appreciation, and I'm really thankful for life on every adventure that I've been on, because I can see that it was God trying to get me out of an old season and bring me into a new season where I can prosper and be more at life about. So since then, I believe I've been a growing, childlike Christian in the faith, so to say, towards having goals that weren't just fashioned by what I thought I could do, goals that were fashioned based off of my best ability, or yeah, further on, so furthermost, furthermore.
Do you have any social media or any way you can be contacted or reached if people want to reach out to you and share resources or anything?
I'm on Facebook. I have a Facebook.
Give
Could
all
personally send a Facebook message. William Carter would be my name. It's a picture of me like this, with my hair kind of long, maybe a little longer. William Carter. And yeah, if you're interested or have any other further questions about what it's like moving from the United States back to another country that's 7 days away or so, back to this country, then I would be a guy you could talk to.
if you can go back and talk to a young Mr. William, knowing what you know today, if you can go back and talk to your former younger self, what would you tell him?
Always know like God's voice in your life, because you know everything could be swaying around you, but that might be the very time like God's trying to bring you through something. It may be like once you get to the other side of that, no matter how many times you've trial run the same observation of how you do something, when you actually get through it, it's quite amazing, and you feel like you have more options and more delight, more things in sight here, wherever you're at. So I think listening to God's voice in your life and letting the Holy Spirit kind of move you, I don't think you can ever go wrong in that. I really don't.
In closing, Mr. Williams, and we appreciate you taking time out to sit with us. If there's anyone who may be looking for you, worried about you, wondering if you're okay, now's the time you can say whatever you want to say to them.
Yeah, I'm here in St. Louis, which is right next door to where my daughter was born, and my daughter was born in Urbana, Illinois, in the NICU hospital. So now I'm right next to there where I'd previously been with my little family, like, and her parents had taken all of us down to the aquarium and everything here in St. Louis. I'm now staying right next to where my daughter was born at. So yeah, here in St. Louis. Of course, I don't know anybody that would know me that's seen this. I don't know too many people here. But if you ever see me or something and you've seen this video, you can say what's up, say hi, I'm friendly guy.
We appreciate you, Mr. William. Thank you so much.
Thank you, that was really awesome.